How we doing, folks? Welcome to the Weeball Podcast. I'm Luke Krumich. Joining me is Tyler DeSena. Don't worry about the background noise. Focus on this podcast. It's amazing, and you all love everything that we do. How we doing, Tyler?
Good. I'm fighting through the noise right now, but I mean, as far as football, Tua's back this week. The Miami Dolphins are going to get back to their winning ways, and that excites me because it's about time I can make it through this pain. But I mean, overall, I'm doing good. Excited.
Yes. Speaking of pain, that's what all the Ravens fans are in right now because my New York Football Giants, they put the hurt on those boys. You know that. The defense is so good. Our defense is just so good. Like Wink Martindale is a genius. He ran O'Shane Zimenez, Dexter Lawrence, and Kayvon Thibodeau stacked on top of each other with X as which is O'Shane Zimenez, as the nose tackle.
I thought Xavier McKinney was X.
We have two people who are named X. It's fine.
No, it doesn't count.
Yes, it does. Shut up. And then Dexter Lawrence at linebacker and technically Kayvon Thibodeau at box safety, and it was quite possibly the greatest thing I've ever seen. The Ravens had no clue what was going on, and we ended up getting a sack on that play on Lamar. So it works. And I just love the way we set things up. We ran some tackle over, so we basically had a tight end at tackle and then a tackle at tight end, and it worked perfectly, and Saquon hit a home run. So, everything we do is just working, and this is what real coaching is, and I've never been so happy to claim someone is my coach. I still don't trust Daniel Jones fully, but I'm good with winning, so it's fine.
If you're in a situation where Daniel Jones is your quarterback in 5 and you're 5-1, you just got to ride with it. That you have the coaching guy. You just have to figure out some other stuff. This was not a year that you guys were expecting to be competing for the playoffs at all, and now you are, 5-1 and are a couple games away in the NFC from potentially locking up a spot really early. So, I mean, you guys are playing out of your mind. So I wouldn't even worry about Daniel Jones. Go get into the playoffs, and then weird stuff can happen then.
Yeah, I worry about Daniel Jones every time that ball is snapped. So I'm never not going to be worried about Daniel Jones's performance. I hate to say it. I love the guy. He seems like a great dude. And he performs most of the time when we need him, when we give him the tools to perform. And he's performing without weapons, really. Wandale's back, and that was awesome to see. He got his first touchdown. But we don't have weapons. I'm hoping we get somebody. I'm gonna be honest. Give me Shi Smith or Terrence Marshall or Chase Claypool. Give me something. Do something. Chase Claypool in New York media would be hilarious.
Oh yeah, no, definitely for sure. That would be fun too. I want to see Chase Claypool be on a team where he gets more targets, just because he is an absolute freak. So if you could get him the ball more times than he's getting it right now in Pittsburgh, except for last week, we would be a fun offense to be in. I think, especially in New York, because they're succeeding on offense right now. So why not throw him in there?
All right, let's just get right into it. Games of the week. I'm gonna go first here because I'm taking kind of a weird one. I'm gonna go with Colts Titans. This is so the Jags are playing the Giants. If the Jags lose that game, the winner of this game has a 2-game lead in that division all of a sudden. Because of buys and ties. So it gets really interesting really quickly in a division that has been horrible thus far. But now there's going to be a 4-2 team or a 4-2-1 team. And the Jags are going against the Giants, so they're good. There's a good duel going on there. There's a good duel going on here, and then the Texans are the Texans. Nobody cares. So I think the AFC South gets interesting this week. It starts now.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I mean, the fact that we could get to a point where a team in this division is 4-2-1 when we were maybe none of them finished with a winning record, at least have one team in this division feel like they look capable of actually making the playoffs. I know that one team has to, but we were all begging that they would just abolish the rule this year or something because all these teams look that bad. So if one of these teams can at least finish with 10 wins, like that's kind of what we just want to see. So then when the Dolphins inevitably go 9-8 and miss the playoffs, I don't have to blame the AFC South. But I think that it's definitely an interesting division right now. You've got 3 teams that can kind of go win it. The Jaguars we were really excited about, but they've seemed to have fallen off a lot recently. And then you've got this Colts and Titans game that really could decide the fate. The Titans seem to be getting hot at the right time, mid-season mark-ish. And the Colts are, still fighting their way into this division. And that win against the Chiefs becomes more and more impactful every week. So they're doing well.
Yeah, I really don't know. It's a weird division.
Yeah, it's a fun game. As for my game of the week, I'm being the biased one this time, and I'm taking the return of the king, Tua Tagovailoa, on Sunday Night Football, coming back. He's 3-0 when he finishes a game for Miami, and it's Brian Flores' return to Miami. It's prime time. It's Sunday Night Football. It's Carrie Underwood with the greatest song ever made. It's just bright lights. Who doesn't want it? And the revenge story of Brian Flores and Tua playing against Brian Flores, and we all know that relationship was not good. Who doesn't want that kind of matchup? And, I mean, the Dolphins are a team that probably are better than their record says they are because of the fact that they missed Tua for those 2.5 games where they were not able to go win because their quarterback with no reps had to play 3 weeks in a row. So you've got a fun team playing another team with potentially Kenny Pickett starting because he somehow jumped every step of concussion protocol. Don't ask me how that works. But again, fun matchup.
I never saw somebody get so salty at concussions other than Tyler DeSena. I'm messing with him. Obviously, concussions are a serious thing, but then there's just some weird stuff with these new rules, and it feels like some teams are going extra over it, and some teams are just like, nah, it's good. Like we're chilling.
I'm just confused how Kenny Pickett, this isn't like a shot at the NFL. I'm genuinely confused how Teddy Bridgewater, who they confirmed did not have a concussion, could not practice until Thursday, but Kenny Pickett can practice on Wednesday, and he had a concussion.
It's because he's from Jersey. He's built different. It's fine. Just leave it alone. He's a short conference king. He's built different.
He's also a short king, but yeah.
All right. That was horrible. And I apologize to our listeners for that joke. That was atrocious. But yeah, we're gonna keep trucking along. Let's get these hot takes in. We got some good ones this week, some that I enjoy. So the first one is that this is from David, our boy David. He's always in there every week. If you're in the chalkboard and you're dropping hot takes every week, you're gonna get shouted out on here. David's that guy. So shout out David. But he says the NFC East is the best division of football. No frauds other than Washington. I mean, I feel like at this point, even that Cowboys-Eagles game kind of proved it. They were able to get back in it because all of these teams are good. They all have killer defenses that put tons of pressure on the quarterback. So they're a bunch of fun defenses, and then offenses that you don't really know what you're gonna get. The Eagles are really good in the second quarter, and then they're pretty garbage in the third and garbage in the first. So you never know. You never know with this division. So I agree with that. I think that because of how easy the schedules are for the NFC East, we could legitimately see 3 teams in the playoffs from the NFC East: the Giants, the Eagles, and the Cowboys. And Dak's coming back.
100%. But the thing is I understand the idea of this is a legit division, but what in the AFC in the NFC is considered a fraud? A team that doesn't make the playoffs based on this record, or a team that can't go win playoff games based on this record? Because I think that you have 3 teams in this division who can go make the playoffs, but I don't know how comfortable I am in any of them making a legitimate run besides potentially the Eagles.
See, I have faith in Nick Sirianni as a coach, which is something I would not have said last year, but he's proved me wrong. I think it's just because I don't like his voice that I think he's a bad coach. I have faith in Brian Daboll as a coach, and then I have faith not in Mike McCarthy, in Kellen Moore and Dan Quinn as coaches. So I think coaching wise, these three teams could go out, especially when Dak comes back, could go out and beat any team in the NFC, including each other, like all three ways. So I do think like the Giants beat the Packers, and the Packers are getting really worse since then. Like they looked really bad against the Jets and not as good as they looked against the Giants. So I think these teams can legitimately compete. Like the Eagles boat raced the Vikings, who are number like 3, 4, or 5 in every power ranking right now. So I think this division is legit and can win games in the playoffs.
Fair point. I'm not as sold on them yet, but I mean, there's definitely potential there for the team to go win playoff
Like
games.
who else is going to win playoff games?
That's the thing. I just don't know. Like, I don't trust them against probably any of the teams in the AFC that are going to end up making the playoffs, like the Cowboys and Giants.
No.
Like, I probably don't. But the Eagles, of course, I do.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, as far as if legitimate is like winning a playoff game or two, then why not? I mean, again, who's winning playoff? This is the worst NFC I've seen maybe in my lifetime.
Yeah.
So
in my 18 years on this earth, I've never seen a worse NFC.
Yeah. So maybe they are legit.
All right, we're going to keep trucking here again from our boy David. David says because the Packers and Bucks both are garbage, Brady and Rodgers both retire this year, go off into the sunset together. I don't know. I feel like Brady definitely. I think Brady retires this year. I think it's finally time. He lost his family to get like destroyed every week by the Falcons and stuff. Like, there's no man who wants to continue this. This is probably torture for him, especially with the type of competitor he is. But Rodgers, I feel like Rodgers he's not doing the NFL to do the NFL anymore. He's just kind of there. So I don't know.
I feel like you're right on the Brady thing. I think he's done, but something tells me Rodgers, like, I just feel like he might be on a different team next year. I mean, I don't feel, I know that he like wants to retire a Packer deep down, but like every year it just continues to get worse for him, and he keeps coming back with this like reinvigorated sense of self that he can go carry this team to a Super Bowl, and then it ends up not working every single year. And I feel like last year was the closest they're going to get while he's still on the team. So I don't know why he wouldn't go do what Brady did and just go kind of join a team with a very good defense and weapons and go like attempt to, make a contender somewhere. Miami. But I don't know what that was. I think I said something. I don't know. But
I think I did too.
Yeah. Either way, but I think he would probably fare better elsewhere. If he's a Packer next year and is playing all 17 games as a Packer, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
It might happen. Right. It hasn't made sense to me in years, but it might make sense. I mean, it might.
Hasn't made sense since the Jordan Love pick. Hey, are we ever going to see Jordan Love play football?
He's just being, like getting ready for the league, man. He's ready to tear up next year when Aaron Rodgers is a Dolphin.
All right. We're going to move on to a hot take here from Saquon Barkley. Yes, you can get ats like Saquon Barkley on the Chalkboard app. So come join our Chalkboard. Drop some hot takes and get a name like Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley, this is a long one. Saquon Barkley says generational running backs are underrated as a whole. Sure, they're injury prone, but when you have a true generational running back in their prime, they're worth paying money to if you have a coach who knows how to build around a running back. Generational running back means a running back who can make plays despite having a mid-line or WB. Saw it with Henry making plays on the Titans. Seeing it with Barkley. AP did it for a few years. There's a difference between generational running backs and good running backs only because of their line, like Jonathan Taylor last year or prime Zeke.
I definitely think that generational running backs, if you can find, I think generational anything should not be underrated, but generational running backs are definitely the most undervalued because of what he's saying. Like that, I mean, it might be a little biased because it's coming from somebody with the handle Saquon Barkley, but I mean, I definitely think that if you have a running back that you can build your team around, like Derrick Henry, for instance, like That's a guy that you just have to like look at the way that Derrick Henry has pretty much made the Titans like offensively competent the entire time.
Same with Saquon.
Yeah,
Look
and
at our wide
Saquon right now with the New York Giants, when he's healthy, is proving the same thing. If you can go out and get a running back, your line doesn't even have to be great. Derrick Henry's had a couple of years behind an offensive line that honestly is worse than he gets credit for being, and he's still dominant, and it gets the Titans in the playoffs. If you have a running back, anytime a rushing offense can tote out 4 to 5 yards per carry every time they touch the ball or more, you're gonna win games. And that's the thing. Winning games is not underrated. I mean, so like I would say that definitely having a generational running back is. I mean, I wouldn't go out and draft running back high in search of the next great generational running back. Like I wouldn't go draft a running back number 2 like the Giants did with Saquon, unless I believe that he is going to revolutionize the way I play football. But still, I think that there's still first round talent running backs. I don't subscribe to the idea that you can't go draft a running back in the first.
I mean, look at this draft class. There are 2 guys who could be like the guy, like Jahmyr Gibbs and Bajan Robinson. They're both insane. Like Gibbs, people are like, this man is Dalvin Cook mixed with Alvin Kamara.
Like, and he's big too. Like that's the thing. He plays so big.
You're insane.
I remember watching him at Georgia Tech and being like, I remember watching him at Georgia Tech because I went to the Georgia Tech game and I didn't know anybody on their roster. And I'm like, who on earth is this Gibbs guy? Because he was the only reason Georgia Tech was still in the game. And he was just tearing Miami apart. And I'm like, this kid's good. And then I check back after the season and I'm like, okay, he's at Alabama now. He's going to dominate. And he really has. So like a guy like that, if he is like a generational running back at the next level, who's to say you can't go build your offense around that?
After 4 weeks, he was Alabama's leading receiver. This is Alabama with Bryce Young. Like, let me make that clear. Their running back was their leading receiver with Bryce Young at quarterback.
Yeah.
Let's just think about that for a second. You know how many 5-stars they have at wide receiver? Insane. I mean, they all suck somehow, other than Ja'Cory Brooks, who still also has no hands. But all of the Bama wide receivers suck this year. Don't get me started on that. But, like, there are guys this year who could be guys like Derrick Henry, CMC, Saquon. Like, there are people who could be legitimate guys this year. And I don't know. I don't know where they're going to go. I think at least one of them goes in the first round, maybe both. Like, who knows? But I do think people are starting to realize that, like, hey, if you find the right guy, a running back can win you games on their own.
For sure. 100% agree.
All right. That is our final hot take, which means it's time to do a nice little draft. We've really enjoyed these. We hope you guys enjoy them too. This time we got a days of the week draft. Tyler, you're going to go first on this.
Okay.
We're only going to draft 3, obviously, because there's only 7 days of the week.
All right. Yeah. And I've been thinking about this, deliberating. We've been talking about this, thinking. And you know what? I've realized the error of my ways that I was thinking about picking previously, so I'm not going to pick it right now. Days of the week draft, number 1 pick. I'm going Friday.
All right. So I'm pretty sure you just won. There aren't that many options in this, so I have to go Saturday here. Like it's the only other real weekend day. I don't count Sunday as a weekend because I'm getting ready for the work week, school week the next day. And so the back half of my Sunday is all preparation. I think Sunday is extremely overrated, so I'm going Saturday.
Tear down Sunday all you want. None of the football fans are by your side, and that's what I'm taking next. Sunday's available at the 2-1. I'm taking with my second pick Sunday. It's football day. It's the perfect day to go out, do some stuff during the day, come back, and get productive for the following Monday. Sunday it's clearly the third best day at least. I would argue it's second.
There's no shot. You have, 17 weeks of football? 8 or 19, 20 if you count playoffs. But you still have football on Saturdays. There's college football. College football is arguably better than the NFL storyline and entertainment value-wise. And there's more football on Saturday. So Sunday is extremely overrated. And speaking of football, I'm going Thursday. I'm taking Thursday night football off the board. There's a lot of other good stuff on Thursdays. Sometimes you get those long weekends. You get Fridays off, and then Thursday is your Friday on a 4-day weekend. Think about it. 3-day weekend. My bad. You know what I meant.
Yeah, I do. And the thing is, I have now the first 3 days of the work week to choose from. Monday, we all know how people feel about Monday. Tuesday, honestly, it's the one that I would leave off. I like Monday better than Tuesday. I feel like Monday, you kind of get shocked into your week and you aren't as tired. And then when on Tuesday, when that comes in and you're like, oh, I haven't slept in 2 days, that's when it starts feeling bad. So I'm not picking Tuesday. And Wednesday, it's hump day. You know what? Shockingly enough, I think it's underrated. I'm taking Monday. I feel like it's the best of the three.
That was my pick, honestly. But I do think Wednesday is still got that dog in them. I'm going to go Wednesday because, listen, I got most of the end of the week, if you think about it, because, we start with this American calendar. Sunday's the start of the week. So you got the start of the week. I got the end of the week. You know what I'm saying? I'm capitalizing on, Geico commercials over here. Hump day, you're starting to get like, okay, here we go. We're going to make it. Like, it's time to go. It's time to get in gear. We're going to the weekend. We're going to have some fun. We're going to, really get into it. Wednesday's an underrated day, and I truly trust Wednesday. There's nothing bad about a Wednesday.
I think the number one conclusion we can make from this draft is that Tuesday sucks.
Yeah, the worst.
Abolish Tuesday. It's the worst day of the week by far. It isn't close. I mean, like
take away Taco Tuesday completely.
Yeah, take away Taco Tuesday, which LeBron's not even making the videos anymore, so what's the point? But take away that, and Monday, like I said, you kind of get shocked in your week. If you're in school, you can go back to school, see your school friends for the first time since Friday. Go talk to them about God knows what, sports, whatever. But Tuesday, now you're kind of settling in, and you're like, wow, I've got school or work for the next 4 days straight. And it's not a good day. When have you ever had an off day on a Tuesday? Like Mondays, you might get a long weekend, and they're beautiful because if Monday's off, you get Saturday, Sunday, and then not only do you have the 3-day weekend, it goes along with a 4-day week following it. So Tuesday's just the worst.
Yeah, there's no excuse for Tuesday. There's nothing I can say that makes a Tuesday better. I can eat tacos whenever the heck I want, dog. Nobody's gonna tell me I can only eat tacos on a Tuesday. That's the dumbest thing ever.
Dude, Tuesday's not even the only day that starts with T.
Yeah.
It's not even original. Yeah, it's not even original. What's the point?
I mean, there's also Saturday and Sunday, so.
But both of those are elite. That's the difference.
All right, whatever you say, dog. That's going to be it for us. We thank you for joining us. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're on YouTube. Leave us a rating if you're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We got to get those 5 stars in there. So thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. Join the Chalkboard. It's in our bios. It's in the description. And peace out, y'all.
Have a good one.